So it's been a while since I last did a house review of a particular fragrance house, ranking the collection I have from that particular house. Well, I thought it would be a good time to do a perfume house review of Bond number 9. I have a decent sized collection. I wouldn't say it's the collection I have the most perfumes from, but I have a quite decent collection. As you guys know, I have a very large perfume collection, and I think the house that I have the most amount of fragrances from is Ceylon. I have like well over 20 fragrances from Ceylon, but I do have a very nice collection from Bond number 9 as well. So if you want to find out what Bond number 9 fragrances I have in my collection, my thoughts on them, and now how I rank them, just keep watching. Hi my lovely people, welcome back to another fabulous fragrance video. In this video, I will review and rank my Bond number 9 collection. As you all know, Bond number 9 is a niche fragrance house, and they have a very particular type of DNA. You can recognize a Bond number 9 fragrance pretty easily. I would say they are bold, their compositions are bold and daring and pretty strong, I would say. I don't think I've had a Bond number 9 fragrance that I thought to be weak in any way. You know what I mean? Not just performance wise, but overall scent profile. You know what I mean? So yeah, let's get started. I will say it's a little bit more difficult to rank Bond number 9 fragrances than any other fragrance house, because when I did my house reviews of Christian Louboutin, M. Micallef, I did Ceylon, a massive house review of Ceylon. I've added more Ceylon since then. That keeps growing. And I did Perfumes de Marly, all those collection videos. I have done more. Check my homepage if you want to see other fragrance house reviews I've done. Oh, I've also done EBK Paris, I believe. Anyway, I've done a lot of perfume house reviews, but I haven't done one for Bond number 9 yet. Obviously, I'll be adding more fragrances from this house, but I'm gonna do one right now. And if I add a lot more in the future, I'll do like a house review part 2, like a re-review of it, like re-ranking of it. Okay, so like I said, it was harder for me to kind of rank Bond number 9 fragrances because they are very different. I'm looking at the perfumes I have, they're vastly different from each other, each of them. So it's really difficult. It's kind of like comparing, apples to oranges, not apples to apples. While they have common sort of Bond number 9 DNA, they're very different scent profiles. So this was very hard for me. So obviously I'm going to start with my least favorite and work my way up to my favorite number 1 fragrance from Bond number 9. I will say it was difficult to pick a least favorite from this fragrance house because I love each and every fragrance I have from this fragrance house. So what I have in my collection, I love, absolutely love. And they're all very different. It's not like you can compare them. They're like apples to oranges, it's difficult, okay? So I had to really think hard, and even the one that I'm gonna rate the lowest is something I absolutely love. My full bottle I have in my hand here. However, I will say, if I were to start with one perfume that I really didn't like from Bond number 9 that I purchased was Signature Scent. I had to return it because it was very masculine. It was oozing masculinity. It was way too strong. It did not smell attractive on me, a woman. I just felt like it had very strong masculine vibes. So that was one that if I had it in my collection, I would rank as the lowest one. So remember that, the Signature Scent. Bottle is gorgeous. The scent is very masculine. I mean, all the part of women who like that, who like to smell like that scent, but it's too strong. It's very strong. It doesn't make me feel attractive, happy, or anything else, which is the whole point of wearing a fragrance, right? The one that I would rank last is this one in my hand here. This is Bond Number 9 New York Nights. This is not my least favorite, really, because I'm having to be forced to rank them. It's absolutely a beautiful fragrance. It's a very kind of gourmand fragrance with a very interesting twist. This has caramel, loads of caramel in the base and some coffee, which you smell quite strongly. So the caramel and coffee, you really can smell in this fragrance. The other notes are kind of overpowered by. I do smell the patchouli slightly. If you're not a fan of patchouli, you're not going to like this fragrance because you can smell the patchouli. And patchouli should be in this fragrance because patchouli, every time there's like coffee, chocolate, you know, caramel kind of notes and fragrance, this patchouli really brings out those gourmand notes, you know, the earthiness of patchouli. Is absolutely gorgeous. I don't understand why people wouldn't love patchouli, but I get it. Not everybody is the same. I think patchouli is a gorgeous note that enhances other notes quite well if it's used correctly, properly. So I will say the patchouli note you can smell. It kind of reminds me of the way I smell patchouli in the Tom Ford Black Orchid. This actually has a bit of a Black Orchid kind of vibe about this fragrance, actually, slightly, not quite. They're not dupes. They're not, you know, even that reminiscent of each other, but that patchouli with the gourmand notes kind of remind me of Tom Ford Black Orchid. Now this one has some beautiful floral notes, you know, some gardenia, some jasmine, some carnations, some floral notes. The interesting part about this fragrance is that it has sea notes, you guys. So it's quite interesting. It adds another layer to this fragrance, which is hard to imagine combining sea notes with a coffee and caramel fragrance, right? It's quite different. But I think it does add to this fragrance a nice dimension. This has some beautiful sandalwood with that sensual dry down. It's not actually in the dry down, but that sensuality, that, you know, the woodiness that sandalwood gives. But what you smell the most are those caramel and coffee notes and a little hint of patchouli. Beautiful nighttime wear, I would say. Not a daytime fragrance. Again, I feel really weird ranking this low because I really like this fragrance as well. But I just am trying to rank them, you know, trying to see which ones I wear even more than others. So this one is Astor Place. So this is what I rank next. This one is beautiful. It's actually a very pretty spring summer fragrance. I'm gonna go ahead and spray it here. This is actually really lovely, beautiful. It has a little bit of like a green hint from violet leaves, some mandarin orange, beautiful floral notes like freesia. I think there's like poppy, there's powderiness in this fragrance because I think there's orris root. That freesia is really beautiful in here. Very springtime, very spring vibes, but perfect for summertime as well because it's very good for really hot weather. Spring and summer wear, absolutely beautiful, feminine, sort of sophisticated smelling, fresh fragrance. If you are a woman who loves to wear clean, fresh smelling, yet feminine, beautiful fragrances, this is the one for you. This has some beautiful musks and some woody notes, a little bit of amber in the base. But it really is a very pretty, floral, fresh fragrance. There's definitely very kind of ozonic, aquatic feel, but I think it might be from watermelon or melon. Although I don't smell that very strongly. Yeah, beautiful fragrance, very fresh, aquatic, you know, ozonic, spring, summer, floral, pretty fragrance. Very feminine there again. I think, by the way, it's one of my favorite bottles by Bond Number 9. Isn't that cute? Yeah. So I actually have 9 fragrances from Bond Number 9, you guys. I just realized. So Astor Place is number 9. At number 8, I have this one right here. This is Central Park West. I don't have to spray any of these fragrances, but I guess I will go ahead and spray a little bit. This is a beautiful white and yellow floral fragrance. You guys, this has ylang ylang. You guys know I'm in love with ylang ylang. I love ylang ylang. Has loads of beautiful white florals like gardenia, jasmine, musk, some vetiver, some woody notes in the base. It's beautiful. It's essentially a yellow and white floral fragrance with a little bit of a kick from that black pepper in the opening. But I absolutely love this. It's gorgeous. I will say one thing about Bond No. 9 fragrances. They last so long. They project. They are very much like strong fragrances, you guys. I don't like to use the word beast mode, the phrase beast mode. But, you know, they're very... People will smell you, okay, when you wear Bond No. 9 fragrances. That's all I have to say. Okay, so New York Nights was number 9. Astor Place was number 8, and this one is number 7. Next, I have another beautiful, fresh, almost ozonic, fruity fragrance from Bond No. 9. This is right here, gorgeous bottle, by the way. It reminds me of Signature Scent, only that one's gold. This one is pink. That's see-through. I just love this bottle. This is, of course, Central Park Gold Coast. This one is very much, like I said, an ozonic fragrance. I'm going to spray it right there. Really pretty, you guys. This is a pretty fragrance. Ozonic notes from watermelon. This is a very like aquatic, ozonic, fresh, fruity fragrance. This has watermelon, you know, so you get the ozonic from watermelon, the aquatic feel, and the ozonic feel from watermelon. Very juicy, very fresh in the opening. This has lychee, which gives it even more of that fruity, you know, burst, and that lychee, you know, that specific lychee scent is so good. This has like apple, apricot, other like beautiful fruity notes. It's a very fruity fragrance, but it is also very rosy. So you can smell the rose. There's actually rose in here. So it's the most dominant floral note. I'm sure there are other floral notes in here, but you can smell the rose. It almost like with the lychee and the rose, it almost gives you like a bit of a, what do you call it? Perfumes Tim Harley, Delina La Jose vibes, but not quite. Little bit, you know, but this goes in a different direction. This has musk, some vanilla, some woody notes, beautiful fragrance. It's a very fresh, aquatic, ozonic, beautiful, rosy, fruity summer scent. It's really a summer fragrance. I mean, you can wear it in spring too, but it's a very much like perfect fragrance for hot weather. You can wear it in blazing hot sun, sunny weather. Beautiful fragrance. This is my next one. Again, I love all of these, so it's kind of ridiculous ranking them. So this would be what, number 6? 9, 8, 7, 6. Yes, this one is number 6. Then I have this super pretty, delicate, gorgeous, pretty, musky scent that just exude. It's a very demure, very peaceful fragrance. You got my hint. This is Scent of Peace by Bond No. 9. I bought this because of my daughter, because she loved it when we were in New York one time and we was at the Bond No. 9 counter, and I was sniffing fragrances with my daughter. My husband and son were there too, and she smelled this and she fell in love with it, so I bought it because of her. She actually, ooh, this is beautiful. She actually wears it sometimes, you know, I let her wear it. This has the most juicy, fruity kind of opening with that blackcurrant note, some citruses right in the opening. I think it's grapefruit, very like, psh, you know, fresh, citrusy, juicy, fruity burst in the opening. This has the most delicate, gorgeous white floral Lily of the Valley. You guys know how Lily of the Valley smells. You hopefully, you know, it's a very delicate, beautiful white floral. It smells super feminine. Has loads of musks and woody notes. I will say of all my Bond No. 9 fragrances, all the ones that I mentioned before this one, all of them perform better than this one, which is why I rank this a little bit to the middle. This is not the most high performing fragrance out of everything, but still this is more than average. Like average performance of a fragrance is about 5 hours. This goes about 6 hours. Still, you know, pretty nice, beautiful. It's very demure fragrance. If you want to smell delicate, demure, and like a peaceful dove, that's the one you want to wear. It's not one to be, you know, wearing when you want to be like loud, and it doesn't announce itself before you enter the room, as you know what I'm saying. You get the meaning. So that is what was it, number 5? That was number 5. So in number 4 spot, I have this one right here. Beautiful, creamy white floral scent. This is Bond number 9 Chinatown, you guys. Ah, this is super strong. By the way, guys, this is a strong fragrance and it lasts forever. This leaves a massive sillage. Projection is amazing, lasts 12 hours plus until you wash your clothes, that type of fragrance. So honestly, I don't really need to spray any of this, but I'll spray them for you. I'll spray it right here. Oh, this is the most creamy, strong, kind of, I don't want to say spicy per se, but it has a kick. I think it comes from like cardamom or something. There's a strong spice in here, warm spice that really blends really well with the creamy white florals though. Tuberose is the most prominent creamy white floral in here. There's gardenia, there's orange blossom, there's peony, beautiful florals. Peony is not a white floral, but you know, delicate feminine floral. Loads of vanilla, some woody notes, very tiny hint of patchouli, tiny, you can't even smell it. But it's a very long-lasting, very interesting smelling white floral fragrance. Not your average white floral, absolutely gorgeous. It's, again, one of the most high-performing ones out of all my Bond number 9s. This would be great for, you know, warm weather or cold weather. Honestly, you guys, this is actually, to me, a cold weather fragrance mostly. If you want a nice white floral for colder weather, like I would recommend this for like winter actually. But it doesn't mean you can't wear this in warm weather. You just have to wear it at nighttime. It's not like that it's offensive. You could wear it daytime. You can make this into a year-round fragrance, but it's strong. Okay, this is Chinatown. Then I have a very interesting fragrance right here. This is one of the 2 Bond number 9 fragrances that constantly get compared to Baccarat Rouge 540, which is really annoying. I'll get to it when I get to the other one, but this one is not quite. I wouldn't say that this is a dupe for Baccarat Rouge 540 at all. You will see why. It has maybe like a slight resemblance because of one note in here that they share, but you guys, it's a very unique, in my opinion, fragrance with some really like a very interesting twist in it. So this is Bond number 9 Tribeca. Do you guys see? This is like one of my favorite type of bottles from Bond number 9. This has that gorgeous like crocodile print, soft touch bottle, beautiful. Ooh, this one, you guys, has cacao and hazelnut. So there's a nutty, like a very nutty feeling right in the opening. You get that hint of cacao, you get a hint of hazelnut. You definitely smell the nutty notes. Now, the fragrance notes that this shares with Baccarat Rouge 540 are jasmine and ambroxan. Every time there's ambroxan in a fragrance or ambergris, people like to compare that fragrance to Baccarat Rouge 540 because one of the most prominent notes in Baccarat Rouge 540 is that ambergris. Ambergris comes from the gut of the sperm whale. It has like a marine woody nuance like smell to it, and it's a very distinct scent. And every time there's ambergris or ambroxan in a fragrance, which ambroxan is the synthetic version of ambergris, everybody thinks or wants to compare it to Baccarat Rouge 540. But you guys, just because something has ambroxan doesn't mean it's Baccarat Rouge 540, okay? Yeah, you can smell the ambroxan towards the dry down of this fragrance. There's caramel, so there's that sweetness in the base, you know, too. And it really marries well with the caramel note, marries well with the nutty hazelnut and the cacao. Oh, this has beautiful, like, kind of like a gourmand, but a very interesting light kind of gourmand vibes, you know. Sure, I get the resemblance because of ambroxan, but not really, okay, you guys? So if you're wondering, do I want to get Tribeca if I have Baccarat Rouge 540? Absolutely. That's my opinion, however. You know, it doesn't mean that you would think that it's worth getting anything with ambroxan because it reminds you of Baccarat Rouge 540. It depends on how you feel. But this is very unique because of that cacao pod, the powder, the hazelnut mixed with the ambroxan in the base and the caramel. So beautiful fragrance. This is number 3 in my list. Here is my number 2. It's quickly climbed to my number 2 spot. It's still in the box. I just got this fragrance. I just hauled it in a haul video. Check it out. I will link it up here and down in the description box. It's in my latest perfume haul. The video before this is very expensive. This is a $600 fragrance, but you can get it at a discounted price. I will link it down in the description box for you. All of these fragrances will be listed down in the description box. Now this one, you guys, is really from a very elite kind of privé kind of collection of Bond number 9. This is from the Dubai collection. The Dubai collection has these gorgeous bottles with kind of like jewel looking in middle, like right there with light going through, which I think is absolutely phenomenal. They have like Dubai Jade, Dubai Indigo, all these jewel colors, you know. Next one I want to buy from this collection is Dubai Jade and Dubai Indigo. Those two I think I might add to my collection eventually, but I'm not gonna spray this one, you guys. This is really quite very strong, beautiful. This is a very luxurious smelling, expensive smelling rosewood fragrance, but it's not your average rosewood. Don't go there. Yes, it does have a slight Middle Eastern, Arabian, Oriental kind of vibe, but it's a very much of a modern interpretation though of it. It has very much of a luxurious feel to it. By the way, did I tell you what this is? This is Bond number 9 Dubai Ruby from the Dubai collection. You guys know I'm a sucker for a rose fragrance, okay? This is a rosewood fragrance, but very different from Kilian Rosewood, which I absolutely love Kilian Rosewood. But this one, more oriental, more Middle Eastern leaning. This has a bit of saffron in the opening, which, you know, that specific smell of saffron with some citrus notes, and has rose and geranium, both a very expensive rose note obviously in here, and geranium, which really complement rose notes. It also has I believe some magnolia. It has cypriol oil and davana, you guys. So davana and cypriol oil are both very sexy herbal notes, okay? It adds sultriness to fragrances. They add sultriness to fragrances. I've talked about davana and cypriol oil extensively on my channel. Very, very, very alluring, sexy, okay? It has a little hint of myrrh, adding more to that Middle Eastern kind of vibe, a little smokiness, almost like a balsamic, resinous vibe, you know? The sandalwood adds the sensual creaminess, the sensual dry down that you need. The only one fragrance note that I don't love in here is the tiny bit of civet, which you can barely smell in here, which I'm thankful for, because I don't like civet, because I know why they added to give it that sort of slight animalistic, like animal touch to the fragrance, but civet can go very, very wrong if you don't use it right, like in the Royal Crown Yitma. Ugh, I hate that fragrance, but you know, hate is a strong word. I don't like it, okay? Anyway, this is Dubai Ruby, very like Middle Eastern royalty kind of fragrance. My number 1 top spot. This may not be a popular opinion because a lot of the times, annoyingly so, this fragrance gets compared to MFK, Baccarat Rouge 540. Everybody compares everything to Baccarat Rouge 540. I feel like I disagree with that comparison. I mean, sure, there's like maybe one or two notes in here that they share. There might be a slight reminiscence, but beyond that, I really wouldn't call this a dupe in any shape or form. Okay, you guys, this has a very delicate, beautiful floral note. I will get to it. That really sets this one apart, in my opinion. This is, of course, Bond number 9, Greenwich Village. You guys, this is my favorite. First of all, I love this crocodile print bottle. This is just absolutely stunning. It's kind of like a turquoise jade kind of green. It looks more blue on the screen than it is in person. It's a little bit more green leaning in person, which I'm not sure why. You guys, I don't know how this gets compared, honestly, to Baccarat Rouge 540, because this to me is very much a water lily fragrance. This has a gorgeous, 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 delicate, beautiful water lily note in here, which you don't get in very many fragrances. The only other one I can think of that has a very prominent water lily note, which I love, also is the Jean Paul Gaultier's, the limited edition one. I think it's really hard to get a hold of, the Fleur Terrible, I believe. This is the only other one. This has the most beautiful, delicate, gorgeous water lily fragrance. It gives me like this luxurious goddess vibes. Like, it's like a very, you know, it smells like a very wealthy woman, but very delicate and feminine, beautiful, wealthy woman. You know, this one, it's very, it conveys femininity and it conveys wealth somehow, sophistication, higher status in some way. This is obviously marketed as a unisex fragrance, though I will say this to me smells quite feminine. Okay, so no, I don't see, I'm not even sure if I smell that much of a reminiscence to Baccarat Rouge 540. I want to say that I see it, but I don't really. This has a very juicy, fruity opening, in my opinion. I think it has lychee in the opening, you guys. I mean, that right there sets it apart, way apart from Baccarat Rouge 540, in my opinion. And it has a little bit of a green hint. If I'm not mistaken, it's cassis that it comes from. Some, you know, citrus. I think it's the most syrupy kind of mandarin orange kind of citrus. This has the most delicate florals in the middle with, like I said, water lily, jasmine. I even think there's even like a peony type, very soft, delicate, feminine floral note in here. This, of course, has ambroxan. Now, this is where people are getting the whole Baccarat Rouge reminiscence, because Baccarat Rouge has ambergris. Ambergris is the real version, or, you know, ambroxan rather, is the ambroxan that's in here is the synthetic version of ambergris, and so there's like that reminiscence of that sort of marine woody nuances that ambergris tends to have, and ambroxan shares somewhat. This has a very prominent sweetness in the base that comes from I believe praline. My neighbor was walking by and distracting me. And there's a lot of vanilla in here. It's actually quite sweet. The dry down is a little bit sweet with the praline and the vanilla. The musks make it really sexy. It's just a beautiful, delicate, gorgeous, sophisticated, luxurious fragrance. This is my #1 fragrance from Bond number 9, and I get a little annoyed when I hear the comparison to Baccarat Rouge 540, because this should be appreciated on its own, you guys. It's a very delicate, beautiful, sophisticated, luxurious fragrance that is different, way different from Baccarat Rouge 540, not that Baccarat Rouge 540 isn't a beautiful fragrance, you know what I mean. See guys, that is my beautiful Bond number 9 collection. It's Bond number 9 and I have 9 fragrances. I thought that was kind of fun, you know, and interesting. Yeah, I will probably eventually add more fragrances from Bond number 9, at least a couple from the Dubai collection. And I wanna, I think, add my New York to my collection as well eventually. But yeah, this is my Bond number 9 collection. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section about Bond number 9 fragrances, or anything really for that matter. When you comment and interact with me, it really helps me out. And don't forget to subscribe to me if you haven't already, right down there. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram and TikTok, where I share all the stuff I buy and I give you short, more digestible, quick reviews. I will see you guys in my next video.